I need you to fucking help carry me here as much as we can. I've never had to do a fucking whole episode by myself. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Emo Kids Anonymous, a podcast about pop punk, emo, and everything else. I'm your host, Robb Laffoon, and you might be noticing a large gap next to me. My co-host, Amanda, is unable to join us for today's episode, and that's bad news for all involved because I may say something that will get me and this program and Never a Phase Network in trouble. I don't have any handlers today. However, playing the substitute teacher role today will be my guest, Lisa from Stereo Therapy and Kanan from England.
All right.
Cheerio.
There we go. Hey, happy to be here.
Yes, very happy to be here.
Kanan.
I've worked really hard to get rid of my accent, so
You've done a really
appreciate
fucking good job about
didn't
it.
tell them.
Yeah. I'm sorry about outing you. I understand. Yeah. I'm not trying to get ice called on anyone. Sorry, I'm not allowed to talk about that stuff on here because that will get us canceled.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we dive into today's topic of anything like that, do us a favor. Toss us a follow, toss us a like, subscribe to the show. Emo Kids Anonymous on all platforms. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, TikTok, Instagram. On top of that, you can find Never a Phase Network, NAPNET. Never a Phase Network is on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube as well. On top of that here, we're joined by Lisa from Stereo Therapy, who also has a program on NAPNET. You might have seen Lisa on a previous episode of ours. You may have seen her on the internet doing her show separately. That is Stereo Therapy. One of the shows, the main show that inspired us to start ours, our sister show, our older, more studious sister who went to full college. Lisa, would you like to plug Stereo Therapy a little better than I did right there for you?
Yeah. I mean, hey, I went to college for a semester, so art school, but we're here. So yes, I'm the sister pod. I'm happy to be back and invited back on here. And obviously my show is the intersection of music and mental health and how music helps us process our emotions and helps us through the tough shit. So that is my spiel. Go check us out again on Never the Phase Network, all platforms as well. We're finally on YouTube too. So now we're joining Emo Kids Anonymous on YouTube.
Video on YouTube.
Yes.
Audio
us.
as well. And not only that, you can also buy a Stereo Therapy blouse.
You can.
Over at neveraphasenetwork.com. You can buy Emo Kids Anonymous blouses there as well. I gave a folder to Ryan of like 8 more shirt designs. So Lisa, I need you to step it up. Otherwise, we are going to look like weirdos because I will make so many blouses. I really only want to wear shirts that have like, my stuff on them really. Like this shirt is from the Philippines. It has an owl. I've never been to the Philippines. I've never fucking seen any of these things in real life. I'd rather be wearing a shirt that just says like Emo Kids Anonymous on it. So that's my thing. So I need you to cook up some more Lisa shirts, please. Kanan as well.
Got it.
Kanan, would you like to introduce yourself to the internet here? Maybe the internet has seen you as well. You're also part of Never Phase Network. You're also on the internet as at Kanan, I believe. Is it at fucking Kanan? I just see you pop up as fucking Kanan. I don't know.
Yes, I'm Kanan. My handle is at Kanan Perry, so it's my first name and then underscore PERI, which is my middle name. On all platforms, pretty much. The gears are turning in Rob's head right now.
I was just trying to figure that out. I was like, I thought you're Jewish.
England.
Look, I'm not supposed to talk about any of that stuff. This is why Amanda needs to be on the show. I apologize to everyone else who's part of Never Phase Network. I'm going to tank us today.
Rob, let me intro.
Yeah, do your thing.
Okay, yes, I am. I'm online. I do a lot of music content, not really, more so informational news content for music, and also just fun things that involve like pop punk is my main bread and butter that I deal with. Also, I'm like a #1 fangirl, as you know. I definitely have had my fair share of being in fandoms, and I also studied fan engagement in grad school. So
I was going to say you basically have a master's degree in fandoms as well.
I do have a master's degree.
You had some credentials here. Yeah, some legit credentials. Yeah.
Legitimate credentials. Yes, that's basically me.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm happy to be joined. It's nice to keep the feminine energy here because I just did an interview that will come out in a couple weeks, and it was just dudes. And shit goes haywire when it's just dudes. We start talking about weird stuff. So I appreciate you guys being here. Now, today's topic is going to be about fandoms and how they've evolved. Now, obviously, we've seen fandoms from, probably pre-Beatlemania. I mean, you could take it back to old Jesus Christ, he had some fans following him around. He had a fucking street team and shit, you know what I mean? Like, then,
Oh my
then the
God.
Beatles, there's Beatlemania, and you see it go on. Obviously, my childhood is very defined by boy band fandoms, and then going on, that third wave emo, mall emo, hot topic-y stuff that we talk about a lot in our world is very fandom driven. And then you see it today with online social media communities where fandoms maybe seem more toxic or fervent or, intense than ever before. So I guess we'll start off here by kind of asking you guys, what's your experience in fandoms, in the sense of what was the first community that you really fell into where this became a major part of your life and your identity?
Ooh. Um, Now I know, like, when you said boy bands, this is where, like, wasn't into the whole boy band thing. I don't know what it was. Like, that was not for me. I just always gravitated towards the older stuff, like what my mom was listening to. So the first fandom for me definitely was Fall Out Boy and being an Overcast kid. So it's like that's where and that was later. Like, I was what, 16, 17, 18
So this is what,
ish.
like 03, 04?
Yeah, so 0304, but they didn't have Overcast Kids until like 2005, 2006. So, but getting into the Fall Out Boy fandom, it was like that was everything. I would go to the shows. I was fueled by Ramen Street Team. That's where I got my start in like anything. And it was like, wow, I can promote these bands. I mean, I got sent boxes from doing Fall Out Boy stuff to Paramore. Like, All We Know Is Falling. I got sent boxes of stickers of, check out this band, Q's What We Aim For, this Providence, Gym Class Heroes was a big one I got to promote. And had I not found Fall Out Boy and, oh, they're on Fueled by Ramen, you can help these bands, I would never have done that. And then here I am today, and I have a podcast too because of them. And that fandom was just, it was wild. I mean, there were toxic things, but also really great things. I mean, I met friends for life, connections for life. There are people I still talk to that I met outside. It was 5705 at the Riv, seeing From Under the Cork Tree CD release. And we were all street teamers, and we would go to like all the shows in the Midwest. And if I didn't have that fandom, I wouldn't be here today. And
I
like
was gonna
know
say,
some of like my best
like your
friends.
first? Is that your first like band in our general world that you kind of dive into? Is that like
Yeah.
your okay?
Yeah, 100% was the first. And I didn't even know, again, what emo, I don't even consider Fall Out Boy an emo band or not even a pop punk band. Like, they're just
Yeah,
a rock band to me, like, now. But like at the time,
Cork Tree
like,
onward, they are just they're pop rock. Yeah,
they were
they're
pop rock. And like that was the first band that like I was like, oh, you could follow them on tour. You can do that. And then like I got to help promote at Warp Tour. Like I got my first fix of doing that. Like somewhere, if I could ever find it, there's like a Polaroid of like the Fall Out Boy meet and greet they did. And we got to help work that and put posters up. And it's just wild to think like about that fandom and where that led me. And whenever I would talk about Fall Out Boy, I would get made fun of all the time. People are like, Fall Out Boy, that's like that, pussy band. Like, who are they? It's like, then they became
yeah, kind of
everything.
a
Like,
pussy
it was
band.
like, yeah, they're amazing. So, like, that was my first experience of a fandom. And that was like later in life because I wasn't like a boy band or like Britney Spears girl, anything like that.
Would you say there's like a sense of like, obviously there's a sense of community, but I like, because I think
Yeah.
of like fandoms, especially now, but like now it's a different thing. But like 2000s, and I'm sure before that, like there always seemed to be like, these are outcast people,
Mhm.
kids, adults, they, them, guy, girl, whatever, who like kind of all of a sudden find themselves in a community of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like it feels like a home, which is like the good side. But then the bad side of it to me becomes like sometimes people kind of start, it's like what, like generational patterns of like, like abuse and things like, like it becomes the bullied almost join in these, get involved in these fan clubs, and then they kind of like, it becomes like a I don't
Oh.
know like a female version of the term, but like a dick swinging contest where it's just
Mhm.
like, we know more about this band than, you know,
Oh.
that kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I was that person, so I can call myself out. I
You're
was
like,
I
we
was
can
that
atone
person
for it now.
that I was that person of especially being, like, the Chicago suburbs and then going to school in Chicago. There was nobody that I was like, nobody knows this band more than I do, knows about this band, has loved this band more than I have. This is my band. And oh, I'm in the fan club. I got to go to the Flyaway in Pittsburgh and I got to do that. Or I've, got to go play like at the Flyaway you had to pay for it, but Overcast Kids did it and you went to like this place in Pittsburgh where like you got to play virtual tennis and all these cool things with Fall Out Boy and then have lunch at the Hard Rock. And I always was like, yeah, I've done that. I've seen them over 100 times. I'm better than you.
Like,
So wrong. Don't
these
ever
fucking
do that.
sugar were going down, fucking fucking casual normie
Anyone that
fucks.
liked that only, I was like, you weren't a real fan if you heard them at Hollister. And like,
Right,
again,
yeah.
that's where the toxic side, it always was like a competition. So while it was great and I had great opportunities, friends for life, I've traveled, I saw so much, I did really become toxic because I wanted to one up the
Yeah.
other fan. I wait in line all day. You don't. Like it was so awful. And now looking back, it was like I was really evil and awful and really ashamed of that.
That's fun. It's
That
like
makes
fun. It's fun to look back on that stuff, to me at least, where it's like, yeah, that was really not nice. You know, I used
No.
to be a piece of shit. I'm not anymore. Kind of like that sketch where it's like,
Right.
everyone's a dick in certain ways. Like, if you're being a dick was like you were mean to the other Fall Out Boy fans, like I feel like that's kind of minor in the grand scheme of like ways to be awful in the world, you know? Like,
Yeah.
could
I
have
think
been
another
worse.
thing, like something that comes to mind when I was thinking about like my toxic past as like a fan was that if I was up front and people up front didn't know every word, I was like, fake fan,
Yes.
get to the back. Go to the
Hmm.
What
back.
what is like the fucking okay, first off though, Kanan, what is your intro to being
Oh,
a
Spice Girls.
fangirl? It's the Spice Girls?
Oh,
Spice
Okay.
Girls. 1,000,000%. I was completely obsessed from the moment my first CD I ever got was Spice. Just obsessed. I had like all the walls in my bedroom were covered with Spice Girls, and they were my first concert. And I like had their Live in Istanbul VHS tape, and I memorized all of the dance moves, and I like memorized
They
Spice
had a
Girls.
live in Istanbul DVD
Yeah.
VHS. That's
Yes.
fucking a
That was
fucking absurd place to do your live concert performance
yeah.
at.
It was
Right.
amazing though. I like had that memorized, and my friends and I would like sing the songs in my house, and our parents would like film us on like the camcorder, and not to age ourselves
It's
here,
Right.
early
but
Yeah.
TikToks. We talked about this a couple weeks ago where it's like our generation, like people are like, I didn't download TikTok for years because I was under the impression that it was just like 15-year-old girls dancing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm an adult man. If I download that app, my phone's going to explode. Like, I'm not opening your fucking link. And then I kind of realized like over time, I'm like, this is a thing, a tale as old as time. Yes, when like camcorders were invented, I'm sure there was people that said like, what? So it's so fucking 14-year-old girls can reenact the fucking, the New Kids on the Block video. It's
yeah,
these are just things that happen from generation to generation.
yeah.
It's normal.
So I loved the Spice Girls. Like I did really love boy bands as well. I was big into NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, but the Spice Girls, they were like it for me, and I made friends because of it. But I was also toxic about it even at like 7 years.
Sick. How are you being a bitch when you were 7? Let's drop some
Yeah.
dirt. Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
you didn't read the lyric insert. You don't know the actual lyrics of the song.
Yeah.
I read the lyrics
Mhm.
and memorized them, and I was like being such a bitch about it. But yeah, as I got
Sick.
older, as I got older, then it was like Avril Lavigne in middle school. But people
Mhm.
were
You're
meaning me
gatekeeping
about
Avril?
yeah. I was gatekeeping about keeping Avril, but people were also really mean about
I was
Avril.
just saying that she wasn't even like cool. Like that was like for like the
Right.
posers. You were gatekeeping from the other posers. Like that's
Yes, Avril, and then like Simple Plan adjacent, but like at the same time kind of thing. And then it was like Good Charlotte,
Oh yeah.
and and that was it, like middle school going into high school age. And then high school is when MySpace happened, and then you could find the community of people that thought like you. So all of like the emo kids at the time, we all kind of banded together, and we're still, pretty gatekeepy, even though people, bullied us.
No,
about it.
I love gatekeeping, yeah, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
have ever even thought to gatekeep Avril. Shit, that's a good fucking pull.
Yes. And I think I was saying, oh, she put on Let Go, she has like the first her big hits were like one right after another at like the top of the album. And I would always, if you didn't listen to the rest of the album, like you don't actually really like you
Yeah,
just listen to the
you were a
Oh,
song.
fake
yeah.
fan if you didn't know the other tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Losing Grip, then it was like Complicated Skater Boy, and then I'm With You. And then if you didn't listen after that, like what are you doing?
I would have never heard a song after that. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, I was
I
12.
yeah.
Right.
I was 12 too. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, I would have been a fake fan. I would not have been cool to you.
Yeah. So I guess that's I've been a fangirl since I was like 6.
You still are a
So
strong fangirl. I
Yeah.
will give you that. You're still very fangirl oriented.
it's never a phase.
Listen, fangirls are the backbone of this industry.
They
I tell people
exactly.
we are are literally the backbone. And I had a guest say that. And at first I was like, well, let me think about that. And then like when I sat with it, I was like, you know what? You are 100% right. There are bands that I know. I'm like, I helped fund so many things because I would go
Mhm.
to all those shows. I would do the fan clubs. Now we have VIPs. I spent every time Anthony Green, like that was a later fandom, is circa, but like literally any VIP, I don't care if it's 100, whatever it is. Just
And
take my
I
money.
swear I had the same conversation with Kanan before where it's like, how many, like, at these meet and greets, how many of the people at the meet and greets are dudes? Like, it's mainly female, right? For the most
Mainly,
part.
Yes.
yeah,
It's mainly
Exactly. The
female.
100%.
backbone.
Yeah,
I've been in
Mhm.
bands. The people that are willing to promote your band and to share your link and are willing to like ride or die for random ass band on the internet
Yeah.
is overwhelmingly girls. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
95% girls.
Yeah.
At the
We're
same
very
time,
passionate.
Yeah,
though, it's like when something is too girl oriented, because I think about like, okay, 5 Seconds of Summer, for example, that's kind of like probably more in Kanan's wheelhouse, but it's like when they blew up, obviously there's a large One Direction backing going on there. They're managed by One Direction.
right.
One Direction's getting cut from that. So that's a different thing. But at the end of the day, it's very driven by a female fan base.
Mhm.
Is that the correct word to use? Female fun,
Yeah,
like female, like is I
Yeah.
don't know.
You're not saying like the females.
The
You're
right.
female, I was
saying
just, I was like,
female
I feel like female is like a
fans.
is like a bad term to use
And
sometimes.
then
No,
I
it's
also was thinking about like in high school, I was very gatekeepy with Panic at the Disco.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when Fever came out, and I was like, I printed out all their lyrics and I memorized this album overnight. And what
Right.
did you do?
I heard about them at Pure Volume. Did you? No, you didn't.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
just
was me.
very much, yeah.
I feel like, okay, like I feel like I didn't do that as much, but I don't think that's because I was a dude. I think I didn't do that as much because, like, for the most part, when I'd go to, like, because I switched schools a lot, and when I would go to a new school, I'd always be, like, the cool kid from, like, a different place. It was like, oh, this guy's
Mm-hmm.
from California. So it was like, I, like, was always, like, automatically, like, oh, this guy's neato. So it was like, I wanted to share these things with people because it's like, I had, like, the hookup on something, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted everyone to know who Alkaline Trio was. I wanted everyone, like, I found Fall Out Boy. I wanted everyone to know who Fall Out Boy was. Like, Gaslight Anthem, like, my buddy Zach was here this weekend, loves Gaslight Anthem. Every person I know from back home in Canada loves Gaslight Anthem. I like have like I don't even think it's a joke where it's like, if they came to Grand Prairie, Alberta, they'd do an arena show and I would be the reason that there's fans there. Like I was like a one-man street team because it was like, oh, everyone could like this. But like I was saying earlier, like I feel like there's a certain outcast element with a lot of it where it's like now you're in these communities and it's like, fuck you, especially a lot of the times when like a Kurt Cobain thing, like, he's the one who, likes the pretty songs, he likes to shoot his
Mm-hmm.
gun, but you don't know what it means. It's like, especially like the kids who like were maybe dicks to you or all of a sudden fans of the same band. You're like,
That was my
nah,
thing.
dog, this is my
Mm.
thing.
Mm-hmm. That was me with Fall Out Boy. 100% was that, and like all the popular kids.
Got sugar
Honestly,
hits and they're massive. And then you're like, what the fuck?
honestly,
What the
I'm gonna
fuck?
take it back because now that I'm thinking about it, yes, Fall Out Boy. But before that, it was Dashboard Confessional.
Mhm.
I was like in their fan club community on their website, and they had pagers, not DMs, pagers. And you could page people and talk to people. And I remember when Hands Down came out, all the popular kids were loving Dashboard. And I was so upset because, like, to me, that, like, that was mine. You don't get to like this. Like, this is mine. I love Dashboard. And all they knew was hands down. They loved it. And like saw MTV. They actually did this MTV. Oh my gosh. What was that show called? Not Jammed or something where they would show up randomly at a venue. I can't think of it, but Dashboard did it.
Amanda would be able to help with this
Yes,
part right here.
Dashboard-
This is right down
Googling
Amanda's
it.
alley, yeah.
Dashboard did it, and they would literally come to a random place and just show up at the venue and start playing. And they did it in Chicago, and people were like, "Oh my God, this band's the coolest! This is my favorite band ever," because they did that. And I'm like, yeah, but like, I didn't want to be that person, name 3 songs, but like, what else other than hands down? And I was so just like, no, you're that popular kid. You shouldn't like this. This is mine. Like, this is how I felt about music. Like, it's mine. And Fall Out Boy, yeah. The Fall Out Boy, Dashboard, all those bands, the minute a popular kid liked them, I was like, I can't. Either I can't, or like I would get like, you can't like this. So again,
like, what-
evil. That was evil.
Like, what struggles do you have?
Right. How can you relate to this?
That's funny. I remember jamming in my high school band. It was just me and the drummer. And I didn't play guitar in the band, but like the other guys weren't there. So like I was playing guitar and we're jamming, and he plays drum. Do you guys know Orville Peck?
I've heard of the name.
He plays
but
for Orville.
With,
He plays for Orville Peck now. Yeah, he's a country art. He's a gay country artist from Canada who plays in a mask. He's fucking awesome. He did like when Gaga did like her, she did like Born This Way, like an album where everyone kind of covered their songs. They did a Born This Way. But I was jamming with him and we were like making up a little song. I remember it was like Loser Kids Anthem or something. Like he's like, you don't get to like make up songs like that. You're not a loser like we are, kind of thing. He's like, you play on the football team, Rob. Like things like, I'm like, I'm your friends. Like I'm like, we're part of the same group. We play in a band together. Like, but it's like there was a very like divisive thing with like this set of the world, like music wise, like these genres, these subgenres, where it's like, if you're part of this, you have to be all the way in this, and you have to be part of this world. You can't really be like halfway into it so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I did find it was called Jammed. It was. So whatever Jammed was back in the day, if anyone remembers that show, Dashboard did it, and they did it in
MTV
Chicago.
Jammed.
Yeah, and they would do like an impromptu like performance at venues. But yeah, that was another fandom for
Were they
sure.
at weird places too, where they just had venues, or were they like sometimes at like high schools and stuff?
They might have been at high schools.
I swear, I feel like I might remember this show, but it was at like
Yeah.
it was not just at like regular venues.
No, like this was outside. I remember outside the Aragon in Chicago. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was like at schools or something. They would like surprise fans, and it just is wild to think about those fandoms though. And like, why did it matter that other people liked that?
Yeah.
I don't know. But for some reason, again, I think it was a thing that like a lot of this music we gravitate towards because of maybe we are the outcast, or, you know, like we don't feel we belong, but the music makes us feel we like belong. And then when someone else that maybe does belong and like it, it's like, is this for me? I mean, it still is, but it makes you question that a little bit.
Yeah, makes you question your whole identity. I thought you were going to say the MTV show. I thought you were going to say Made. And I was thinking like,
No,
I was
Made
thinking
was
they got to
sick,
be
too.
part of the band or something.
I love that one. Oh my God. I love Made.
Yeah, I was thinking that's what you were talking about, but I have to look up Jammed now because I'm like
Yes.
trying to think about that show.
Don't remember that show, but I do want to ask you guys. There's this quote that I love. I very much enjoy it because like I very much don't. I find a lot of the fandom stuff like in the modern age, because like the only fandom I think I was ever like a part of to any sort of like heavy degree, like me and Lisa were both Blood Pack kids. Like we were both in the Blood Pack Alkaline Trio, and like it was a cool community to me. Like at that point, like because I was a kid from buttfuck Canada at this point, and then like I didn't have any friends in San Diego, so like I didn't know community or anything like that. It's like as soon as I moved to the States and like I got like a debit card, I signed up for the Blood Pack, and it was like all of a sudden, yeah, like I had friends, like I could go to different shows with, and it was like this cool
Yeah.
thing. And like I kind of saw like a little bit of like in the message boards, there would kind of maybe be like a little gatekeepiness,
Yeah.
but like it didn't feel so bad, I don't think.
No, it
It was-
wasn't.
It wasn't that extreme. There was maybe a couple people that just very clearly were like, "Get off my lawn" types, you know. Like if you don't like the Sundial 7-inch, then
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here, kind of thing. But for the most part, that didn't exist. But that brings me to a quote by the film critic Roger Ebert, which I love. And basically is like a lot of fans are fans of fandom itself. It's about them. They've mastered Star Wars, Star Trek, the universes, but their objects are usually just like a backdrop for their own devotion. If you're camping if you're camping outside of a theater to watch a movie, you're more of a fan of camping than you are the art itself. If you like extreme fandom kind of serves as a security blanket for the socially inept. If you're Luke Skywalker and she's Princess Leia, you already know what to say to each other, which is way safer than having to ad-lib it. Your fanish obsession is your beard. If you know all the trivia about your cubbyhole of pop culture, it saves you from having to know about anything else. That's why it's excruciatingly boring to talk to these people. There's always asking you questions you already know the fucking answer to. What are your thoughts on the words of the septuagenarian Roger Ebert, who said this at the time, probably decades. I believe he said this like when the first like Phantom Menace, like late 90s Star Wars was coming out. And we've only seen it get way worse in music, not only in music, but in just pop culture in general.
Yeah. Ooh, Kanan, I'll let you go first for this one.
When you were reading that, I was like, I kind of had a little, like, not necessarily like an epiphany, but epiphany adjacent to that, because in a sense, I have made this a giant part of my personality and who I am as a person. And it's like, what else is there? I get to a point like I'm, a lot older than I was when I started being a fangirl, and it's gotten to the point where you're just like, what else? What else can I offer? What else do I bring to the table? I suppose.
You're like, what am I besides the girl that likes the bands?
Yeah, exactly.
And now that I'm the woman that likes the bands, what am I?
Yeah, that's interesting because that's like I feel that way, especially when I moved from Illinois to New Jersey and didn't know anyone. And then I had to sit at tables with people that weren't like me and weren't that fangirl. And it was like, this is who I am. This is a big part of me, but these people don't relate. Like if I ask them, what's your favorite band? They're just like, whatever is on the radio. Like they're
Red Hot Chili Peppers, whatever. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I like Van Halen. Yeah. Whatever.
A lot of them like Morgan Wallen. Oh my God.
Hell yeah, Morgan.
But
white guy can't throw chairs off a balcony anymore? Cancel us?
No. That haircut alone on him should be cancelable. Like right there.
We're already
so bad.
They're taking out white men that are podcasting just like me. We can't take out white men throwing chairs now.
We gotta. It just is
protect them at all costs.
It is just so. It's so hard, I think, too. And you sit at tables with people that aren't like you, because then you're like, oh, I'm still like, again, I went from the fangirl to like now the woman that is still this way. And I mean, again, like I have my gripes about Fall Out Boy right now in the current day, but if they
what are the gripes about Fall Out Boy? Amanda's not here. We can talk your shit about Fall Out Boy right now. Go for it.
The gripes about Fall Out Boy is I just feel like they're great. They are so successful. I am so proud of them. However, sometimes it's like, I think, let's lose some of the stage stuff. I don't need a big dog.
They're Motley Crue.
I don't need a big
I hate the fucking dog.
I hate the dog.
I watched the dog. I watched it live like the morning before we recorded an episode, and I was like, Amanda, what is this? What is this? Explain these things to me. Like, what are we doing here?
I get it, but it's like, lose all the pyrotechnics, lose all that. Because like, and I get it. They're an arena band now, so you have to have that stuff. But sometimes I'm like, can we just hear the songs and watch you perform? Can I just see that? I don't want to be, I don't like that. I don't like, it's just not for me. It's not the Fall Out Boy. Again, this is where I sound a little like elitist and whatever. It's not the Fall Out Boy I grew up with. Like,
no, it's not at all.
It's not. And maybe it's not for me anymore, right? Maybe it's for the younger kids that love that.
No, it's not for us. It's not for us.
But like, also, like, I can't speak for all of the fans, obviously, because I'm just one person. But I would think that most of the fans are there to hear the songs and not see all the, the stage antics and the dog and
you have Patrick Stump.
Yeah, you wonder what percentage, because even think about, like, I'm a big Blink fan, and Blink plays traditionally, like, so painfully plays the same set and has essentially played the same set for 15 years, because Mark Hoppus' like argument is like, people are coming to see Blink. It's you get us for 90 minutes. Maybe it's their only time ever seeing us. Like, you're gonna have to play all the small things and What's My Age Again and Always and fucking Feeling This and I Miss You. Like, you have to do. There's 18 songs we basically have to do. You know what I mean? And with Fall Out Boy, I think it's the same thing where it's like this big rock show. You're going to see this massive rock show. Like, to me, like, Fall Out Boy is is fucking Motley Crue or something. Like Pete Wentz is like Tommy Lee meets P. Diddy before we knew about P. Diddy stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking like old P. Diddy when we just thought of him as like a really like opportunistic famous guy, you know, before we knew about the perv stuff, you know, just like.
I mean, I love the fire bass. Like that's.
Yeah,
it
like,
is
but
cool.
it's not, but like, it's fucking.
But like that's.
It's
That's giving
it is
Pete
what it is.
Wentz too many. Pete Wentz is getting, I don't know. Like, again, I loved Pete because, listen, a long time ago, I gave him a letter that said, like, Fall Out Boy inspired me to, like, go into music. I wrote a whole essay in college. I gave it to him. Lord knows where it is. Like, he probably tossed it after the meet and greet. I don't know. But, like, I just think that, like, I do respect their work ethic. And I do respect one of the things I love about Fall Out Boy is that they didn't, this is where I kind of dig on Blink a little bit. They're not in their 40s, pushing 50, singing the same songs and writing things that I don't believe they're experiencing, right? Like you hear so much for Stardust and it's like, this is mature. I feel this in my 30s. I feel this probably in my 20s. I could have felt it. Blink talking about like, I don't know what I'm allowed to say on Riverside or YouTube.
You can say whatever the fuck you want
like,
on here. Yeah, there's no man. Yeah,
like,
you can say slurs. Go for it.
Like
say something bad.
No.
Say something real bad.
Like literally sucking dudes off in a parking lot. I don't believe you're doing that. You guys are married.
I buy it from Tom and only Tom.
Maybe Tom.
And that was my problem when Tom was gone and it was Mark and Matt doing that. Like I don't buy it from Mark. I don't buy it from Travis.
No.
Tom, I don't believe he's doing it, but I do believe that this grown man still thinks that's funny.
Right.
I believe that he still thinks that's funny and it's charming only from him to me. From Mark, I don't buy it at all. Like when Mark was gone, like there's like Kings of the Weekend. I remember that song on California. I remember just being like, brother, you haven't had like a day job in your entire fucking life. You're not going out on the weekends. I know you're a married man. I've seen your wife. You guys are living a nice, boring, respectable life. Like I don't believe you. Tom's a divorcee. He's a little more loosey-goosey. Maybe Tom is weird still. You know what I mean? Maybe. But like from Mark, I don't buy it at all. And it's like not that I want to hear fucking like them doing Eric Clapton or like adult contemporary. Like I don't want to hear 2000s Bruce Springsteen era Blink-182 songs or something. Like I wouldn't.
What do you guys think about like their stage banner though?
Same thing. I buy it from Tom. And I don't buy it from Mark. Because it's the same thing, like Lisa's saying, where it's like it's tough when they get older, but like in the same sense, I know a lot of dudes where it's like I'm like, if G was here right now, we were just shooting the shit, it would turn to fucking hog talk real quick. We'd be fucking making hog jokes and fucking sucking off each other's brothers and dads and stuff real quick. Like
I'm always scared when I record because he's like right there playing games. I'm like, what are you saying? Like I'm terrified.
It's gonna be one slipping in, yeah. No, like I buy the stage banter.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel as fresh in a lot of ways because it's been a thing for 25 years plus, and I'm sure at this point it's kind of like a thing where it's like.
Yeah, like the stage banter now, like them.
They feel like they have to do it, kind of thing. Maybe a sense. I last saw Blink at the Palladium on their the fire charity event, and they weren't touring, and Tom was drunk. So like I bought it from Tom then because like that dude's clearly having a good time up there, but the other guys are sober, like vegan motherfuckers. Like I'm sure they're over there like shut the fuck up, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think they enjoy it as much anymore.
Yeah.
So then I have a question for Lisa then.
Yeah.
Do you think that bands should retire certain songs after a while?
So go back to Fall Out Boy. Sorry, Amanda. The only song I never want to hear ever again and is Centuries by Fall Out Boy.
Oh, I don't
ever want to hear that one.
Agreed.
So I will say this, and to your point, to like kind of Rob's point too, like I was spoiled. I think probably a lot of us were spoiled seeing these bands when they were really in their prime, right? So for me, I've seen Blink so many times, even Green Day, all those bands. For me, I've seen the hits. I've seen that. To that person just getting into it or younger, they haven't. So I think you shouldn't accept Centuries by Fall Out Boy. Get rid of that. Get it off the set list.
No, I'm not a fan of the jock jams. I'm not a fan of the jock jam.
No.
Immortals, Centuries, like those, like the fucking the Gary Glitter jock jam ESPN songs. I don't like that. No.
But they're important too. Like I think even the songs that like again, not to throw it back to Fall Out Boy, but even like Saturday, right? They always end their set on Saturday. And For a while, I was kind of over that, but it was my fault. Like nobody told me to go see this band nearly 100 times in my
No.
lifetime. Nobody told me that. That's on me. So like I would get annoyed where I'm like, oh, here we go, Saturday. I can go walk to my car. And like other people love it because they're like, oh my God, that's how they end the show. But I think that's also goes back to the fandoms of you see these bands so many times. It's a great thing, but you also sometimes are like, all right, I've seen that before. Like, I
I
don't need
was
to.
I
Yeah,
was
let
getting
them
to that
enjoy
earlier,
it.
and I train wrecked myself. But I was wondering, when we were talking about Fall Out Boy, it's like any of these bands, Fall Out Boy, Blink, any of these major bands this level. MCR is a different story because MCR is touring; they're doing 10 dates a year. But like
Yeah.
these other bands that are touring fairly consistently, what percentage of fans do you think are going to see them that are, hey, this band that I liked in high school, let me buy tickets. Oh, geez, I get to see all these songs for the first time. How many of the fans are that versus diehards that are traveling and following the band and buying the meet and greets and are going to multiple shows and are waiting in line and shit like that? Even for a Fall Out Boy, even for bands that are big enough to be playing arenas, like, is it
Right.
not 50-50 maybe?
Yeah.
60-40 in terms of true fans, maybe even? Like, what percentage are just going there on a whim? Especially
Well,
in an era where like you want to go to a show at a band at that level, you're spending a couple $100. It's not like maybe I remember Blink came back 15 years ago, 16 years ago. You can go see Blink on their tour when they came back. $20 was a lawn seat. You know what I mean? Maybe you could
Right.
have a night out and just go casually watch this band that you used to like. But I don't think at this point, I don't think anyone is going to shows for acts that they casually enjoy. Is
Yeah.
that fair?
I think that's fair. Unless you, okay, like, well, see, I know some people, if they don't have anyone to go with, they'll have somebody casually go with them. But
But
I'll
that's a
say, I know that's
50-50 split.
weird.
They're still
Right.
they're at least diehards, and they're basically having to have someone tag along. But like
yeah.
Right. Like, I don't
I'm
think
talking
that,
like a couple. If you and G were just like back in the day, it's like, hey, fucking whoever's in
mm,
town, Lit's in town, sound whatever band it is, where you're like, we'll go check them out. We know the two songs from 20 years ago. Maybe that
see,
was affordable once upon a time.
that would be me. See, now that would probably be me, not him. He's like over, like,
Yeah.
I don't know why he
I'm
lived in
not
New Jersey
gonna
and then do it.
yeah. I'm not gonna see a band I only know 2 songs for.
That's maybe once upon a time you would have though. Maybe
Like,
once upon a time, yeah. Like
maybe I would have,
I did do that,
but
which is
I was
wild.
also thinking how when you're seeing a band and then they go, who's seeing us for the first time? And the amount of people that raise their hands is
Yeah.
always really surprising to me because I
hmm
feel like it would be less people raising their hands if it would be like the first time seeing them. So,
That's a
yeah.
good point. Because, yeah, I will say that over the years, like seeing some bands, people will say, like, oh, it was my first time. And oh, what show was it? I think it was Newfound Glory once. And it was literally not last year, maybe the year before. But they were at the Stone Pony Summer Stage and they said that, hey, who's like first time? This is 20 years of Catalyst. And the amount of hands that went up, I was kind of shocked. I was like, oh, I really feel old here because like I'm around all these young kids and like nobody moves a
Oh,
lot as much as they used to.
no,
Everybody just kind of stands and I'm like, this is weird, but I get it. It's your first time. But like that's weird. That's a weird concept to me that like I don't know, maybe because it's cool like this genre is again and maybe people want to see these bands or maybe they didn't back in the day and they're just like now I have adult money so like I
that's the
can
thing
go
too.
see these
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
bands.
true. I was gonna say we're also
Maybe.
like privileged to be able to see these bands like as many times as we do, and some people might not
Yeah.
have like the accessibility, whether that be like money or maybe they live really far away from any kind of substantial venue or life happens. So I kind of think, oh, okay, like we're lucky that we get to see these bands as much as we do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like,
yeah.
when I
If
think
if
about
you
the
grew up
bands
in
and
butt fuck,
tours yeah, if you're someone like, I don't know, who in our little friend group that lives I mean, maybe like Juzzy Joe, right?
I lived in the middle of nowhere for when I was in high school, like in and when I was in the summertime in San Diego, like I was staying on my dad's. I didn't know him, we weren't like I knew him, he was my dad, but like wasn't like, hey, can I go to this thing that night, But like so I can if you want to go to a show, like we have friends, like loosely associated with us in Alberta. And when someone came to town, it's like a 5-hour thing. It had to be this major thing, and you can't go to all these shows. Like I remember, like maybe one time, my parents were willing to drive me to take me to a show ever. You know what I mean? Like if you don't, like we live in fairly, densely populated areas now. I mean,
Mm.
Northeast is a different story because I think like over there, everywhere you're like an hour or two away from a venue. But like if you're over here
Yeah.
on like the western side of the country, like the true Midwest, you know, like the Colorados, the Wyomings, the like those places, like it's
Yeah.
impossible to just go see bands when you're younger. So yeah, when you're older, that does make sense.
And I've
Yeah.
always lived in SoCal, so it's like
Yeah.
it's very accessible for me to see bands. They always will come to Los Angeles. They'll always come to Orange County, you know, San Diego. Like it's like a guarantee that they'll be there on one tour or another. It's, you know, more often than not, they'll, you know, come near me.
Yeah, I will say, like, I noticed it was easier when I was in the Midwest because I knew Chicago, it's a big market, it's the true Midwest, but it literally everybody came, and then you could go to all the shows around and travel. That's how I saw these bands a lot. Now that I'm in New Jersey, though, I notice a lot of bands love to skip New Jersey and just say, oh, it's just so close to New York. Yeah, I am close to New York. Do you know how much it costs and the traffic? And by the time I don't even walk in the door and I just pass the tolls, I'm already like $30, $40. And then
Yeah.
the train ticket, it is not a hop, skip, and a jump, like for like even thrice. Like so many tours skip me. And I've experienced that for the first time where I'm like, man, this sucks. I'm not used to that. And I look back home and like all my friends are like, oh yeah, that tour's coming to Chicago. And I'm like,
You're
yeah,
like,
I got
it's not
nothing.
coming here. Yeah, I
No.
have to drive into fucking Manhattan if I want to go to a show. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's
that's
not that easy. Or
It's not that
Philly.
easy.
And then
It's
you got
not
to think
fun.
about like Spotify metrics and stuff like that, streaming metrics. Like it'll tell them where the demand is, which city they need to go to. So of course they're going to prioritize
Mhm.
those cities over like, you know, Idaho. I don't know. I'm sorry. I
Right.
think we know somebody lives in Idaho. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, we know one guy in Idaho. Shout out Scott Mailman.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we do. We actually do know a guy in Idaho. Yeah,
Or
Scott
else in
Mailman has
Kansas.
his podcast comes out on Thursdays.
Oh yeah. I don't think anybody goes to Kansas. I think that's like a state.
No,
that
Kansas is
bans-
fucked.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the band I just talked to, I think they're from Kansas. So I'm like, fuck. This is why I just kind of talk shit on Philadelphia. You know, the people there can handle it. You know, they're ready
Yeah.
for it. They're ready. Yeah, they can take it.
Woo.
Like you don't even know where Kansas is.
I had no idea. I had to ask these guys straight up. I was like, you're from like Arkansas or like Missouri? Like, yo, what do you guys do over there? Just like fentanyl, you know? And he's like, no, we've never done fent. And I'm like, fuck, I kind of just assumed that's what you did in those places. I don't know. I'm bad. So let me ask you guys then this. Fandoms back then, nice little communities to some degree. Nowadays, a lot more internet-based. They seem a lot more fucky, but everything seems a little more fucky on the internet in general. Do you think things are like worse off now than they were before? Or do you think things are more accessible? Or do you think the accessibility of things makes it so there's more elitism and then it leads to like not really being welcome in there?
I'll say there's a lot of elitism, especially I don't care if they come from me. My chem fans, a lot of them, I know some that are wonderful and amazing. I saw a lot of it because of Ellis Dunes. I would go to Ellis Dunes shows. They followed Frank to Ellis Dunes. And I noticed that a lot of them like to travel to go to shows, which again is amazing. I did it too. But there was always that elitism. And then they would get on the internet and post their thing and do this. And again, that's amazing. And I've met some amazing people because of the internet, you know, you guys because of the internet. But I do think that there are a lot of people trying to one up each other, especially like this My Chem tour. I see it where some people went to 2, 3 tours. Again, that is amazing. That is wonderful. I'm so happy for you, but it doesn't make you more of a fan because you've done that. That's great for you, but that person that maybe didn't have the money, for whatever reason, or only went to one show, they're still the same fan just as much. So
It
I do
seems
think
weird to like
there's a lot of
quantify
it.
that stuff in general, right? Like quantifying like
Mhm.
levels of, and it's like even like a matter of like memorizing stuff. Like we're I mean, Benji, close your ears, buddy. That's just kind of fucking like autism a little, you know what I mean? It's like data entry stuff where it's like, you know what I mean? Like I memorized the most facts about this band. It's like, okay, well, like I can play all their songs on guitar or drums. Like I know their birthdays. Like
Same.
it become like it's like how much of that is healthy and like how much of it is like good fun, just being a fan, just liking something and being like a little tiger beady about it and just like wanting to know everything. And then it's like we're kind of being, because like the MCR fans, you say that, like I get that vibe too. We're like there's a little weirdness going on there, and maybe just the kids that would naturally be attracted to MCR are also going to kind of be weird to begin with, you know what I mean? And I think we all are MCR fans to some degree. So like if you're listening to this, don't fucking come for me. Come for someone that's not here. Go at fucking Ska Mailman, maybe. I don't know. Fucking go at Ryan. Go at fucking. Don't come at me. Don't go at one of the girls. I'm trying to throw one of the dudes under the bus. But like, how much of that do you think is just good fun and like it's just like gamesmanship, one-uppy, like there's gotta be a better term for it than like autism. You know what I mean? Where it's just like it's memorization. You know what I mean? Like it's not really any. It's just brain storage. Like that doesn't mean you even really understand it so much.
Yeah, when you said the birthday stuff, I mean, that's how I was, again, I don't want to get canceled, but brand new. Like, I knew his middle name. I knew Jesse Thomas Lacey. I knew his birthday. And again, why?
He knew your birthday, too. He knew you were 16. He's like, hey, girl, want to come on this bus?
When I met him, and I think I was like 22. So I was past the prime.
But you were
it was like, but it was one of those things of like,
old heifer.
I used to think I was better because I knew that, right? And it's like, I don't know. There are some people that I do think that if they know everything they need to know, or they do all this and that, and especially in a world of social media, you show it, like whether it's a picture or a video, you're able to broadcast that how much you know, or if you've met them 10 times and they know your name or something like that. And it's like, that's really great. And I've caught myself at times too, but I'm older now, so I don't do that as much. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, great, I've met them again. That's really, really cool. But I do think some people sometimes take it too far, and the parasocial too. I'm sure, Kanan, you've seen it like with water parks. I've seen stuff like that.
I was holding that into to discuss that in a bit.
Love the water parks fans. Some of the nicest people I know. Austin Knight is a genius. I just want to clear that up in case anyone's watching.
I'm in the parks fandom, so but there is definitely a parasocial factor there that can be dangerous.
Yeah.
In that way. But going back to what Lisa said about like memorizing, I guess originally Robb and then Lisa chimed in about the memorizing things. Yeah, I was that way too. I was like, Haley Nicole Williams, or December 27th, 1988, Meridian, Mississippi. What do you know? That person.
If that was a guy that knew that about a girl, you guys would call the fucking cops on his ass.
Oh, for sure.
But
like so fast. Some dude's like Sydney Sweeney, born in Tacoma, Washington, fucking September 11th, 2001. Like, yeah, I'll never forget.
But it's also like exhausting. Like as you get older, you're just like, I'm expelling so much energy, memorizing and storing all of these things that like, you don't have to prove yourself to be a fan. It just you just are, And I think that was like a big factor.
That's like what's the benefit to being like the biggest fan? Like they're really like in hindsight, because
like nothing. You're just I don't know. People think that maybe like the band's not going to notice. Like it's not
right. Like the band's not like that's the thing too. Like I saw someone post on social media lately on Twitter where it's like, oh, the people at the front of the barricade don't know to like catch crowd surfers anymore, and they're like, well, it's because 80% of them have like main character syndrome, and they're just trying to get the band to notice them and stuff like that. It's like, do you think
catch the crowd surfers? Please,
please, yeah, you're gonna take a foot to the fucking head, and then you will think twice and maybe move back. But like. Yeah. It's like almost like the Jonas Brothers, like little thing where it's like you're like the 13-year-old girl at the show where it's like they're gonna notice me and they're gonna think I'm the cutest, biggest fan, and they're gonna take me backstage. Like, what does anyone think's gonna happen? Like not even that girls are thinking that obviously, but it's like in general, like there's no benefit to being the biggest fan beyond like creating more work for yourself almost.
Yeah, it's so much work, and you have to keep up with everything, and you're just like memorizing facts and rewatching YouTube videos, and like it's so much when you could just be like kind of like an escapism from like your own reality. Like you can't live your own life because you're memorizing someone else's life.
Well,
yeah,
100%. I say that about like music in general, like where it's like the average person, like we're all very weird.
Yeah.
Like the average person listens to music. To the average person, music is something that they hear in their car when they drive from one place to the other, or it's something they put on when they're cleaning their house or at like a party. Like it is literally, it's like that's how I am with movies. You know what I mean? Like there's a couple like films I like, but for the most part, it's like, you know, we had a big discourse when Happy Gilmore 2 came out. It's like, I watched that movie like 4 fucking times. I didn't even really like it that much, but it's just like, oh, this is just something I throw on. Like, it makes me like, oh, it's some
Bad
background
Bunny
thing.
was
Like,
the best part.
right? The Bunny, truly an artist. You know, the Bunny, I could talk
was so
Bunny on
good.
here.
He was my favorite, yeah.
That's the greatest rock star on the planet. You want to talk about fucking crazy fucking fan bases and shit like that? Like, yeah. Emo Kids ain't got shit on Puerto Ricans. Let me tell you that much right now. Like, no. Like, those people are dedicated. Like, those are dedicated fan bases. Like, that dude's doing Yankee Stadium multiple nights for a reason. Like, yeah, they go hard.
But yeah,
like,
people just listen to music casually for the most part. They don't use it as like a soundtrack to their lives or like the thing that inspires them to keep going, or you know how they base
part of their
everything
identity
off
even,
of,
yeah. Like
their
even
whole identity.
yeah, to that point, like even I shit on it, but it's like to some degree as well. It's like I can make these Swiftie this or that, but it's like, well, my identity, at least to like in the public eye, is very wrapped up in the music I listen to as well. Like music is a very defining part of our lives, but we're kind of the outliers here, I think.
Yeah.
Like everyone else grew out of it.
Right? Yeah,
a lot of people do. A lot of people would be like,
here.
yeah, like, oh, I can't believe, like, I think I saw Alkaline Trio once and someone's like, I can't believe you still go see them, or like Fall Out Boy, I can't believe you go see them. And I'm like, why wouldn't I? Like, I don't know. I would go see them. They announce a tour tomorrow. I'm buying tickets. All those bands, those same bands. And it's like, that's why, like, when I moved here in New Jersey, I didn't have that really, like, that common ground. And it was weird to me because, again, those were the people that, like, yeah, at a barbecue would listen to music or whatever, but we don't get it. Like, they don't understand.
They don't sit around like, you know who mixed this album?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
No respect for Chris Lorde Alge.
Are we listening to Parks right now? You know, Zach Cervini, who worked on this Parks album.
None of these fucks know who Neil Alvron is.
All you have to know is when I had Anthony Green on the podcast, I was like, that's all I talked about to anyone here. I was like crying for days still. Like, it was just a moment. And even G was like trying to tell people, like, hey, you know, this was a big deal for Lisa. Like, Lisa's never going to come down from this, blah, blah, blah. Nobody here knew or gave a shit or knew who Anthony Green was. And like, if I tell you guys or told, you'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, oh, cool. God, yeah, very cool. Fucking sick.
Nobody here like cared. And like that kind of showed me too, like, oh, I guess I'm in deeper still in this genre, who this is. I guess everybody doesn't know who he is, right? Like my age. That's weird. Like that was the first moment.
We're in our bubble, our little bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. The bubble is so small, like our world in general. Like, you know, like when I would post like the like the bands that should be bigger thing. I remember there's one on like Coheed and people were like very upset. Like Coheed's massive. Like they're playing the arena in my town. I'm like, where the fuck do you live? And they tell me that you live in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. They're playing the 7,000 person arena in Green Bay. That is not the same as playing the Staples Center. I'm talking big band.
Right.
Like Coheed should be a big band. Like Fall Out Boy is a big band. Like Fall Out Boy is fucking could play any baseball stadium in America and come close to selling it out. Blink-182, same thing. MCR is literally doing it, you know, like Coheed, like most of these bands in our world, like a Circus Survive, any of those bands, like there is levels. These bands are playing 800 person capacity venues and the big artists are playing 18,000. Like just think about that gap in size there. Like it's big in our world, but like if you stopped 100 people on the street right now and you ask them, like 2 of them would know who the fuck we were talking about ever.
1,000% with Coheed. Like so many people say that, and it's like, again, in our world they get it, but there's people, again, I'm going to use the people around me, they literally know. Every time I say I'm going to go see a band, nobody knows who I'm talking about. And I'm just like, how do you not know that? Like Paramore, even, how do you not know Paramore?
That shocks me.
Who doesn't know Paramore?
They don't know who that is. I'm like,
who the fuck doesn't know Paramore?
People don't. They don't know who they are.
I will say this. They are also dudes, but still, I feel like dudes should. It's Hayley Williams. She's hot. Like, how do you not know her? She's beautiful. I love her. Like, she's like everything.
Who doesn't love her?
Oh, I could go. I could go on off on a Hayley. Nobody needs to go on that tangent. But it's like things like that. And I think when it means so much to you and it doesn't mean stuff to other people, it's weird, like the fandom, even like Circa Survive was another, the Circa fam. I could go into that. Like, there's so many things that, like, I think you pick a band like Coheed. What is it? Like the children, I forget what it is. CZB would know.
We need to ask CZB because,
But
like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
but
know.
there's like a whole thing, and like that's what, or you look at like the AFI fans. Oh my God, like they are just anything Davey Havoc does, they will like either love or hate or talk about because he's Davey Havoc, and they're for life AFI fans usually.
They'll follow him forever.
Also,
Yeah.
something that not shook me, but like something that surprised me was that when I listen to an album, I like want to know. I always look at the view credits, and I always look at like who composed it,
Yeah, people don't do that.
like I said, who mixed it, who wrote it, like who
Yeah.
performed it, etc. And then I like go and read articles because they're always doing like the like publicity junket type things, and everybody's writing about them, and I read about like how they were inspired by whatever's going on in their lives and what caused them to write about it and compose these songs, and then like nobody else does that. They just listen to the album.
We do, but we're weird. Yeah, we
Right.
I do that as well. Yeah, no, no matter what, pop song, country song, anything, I'm like, who wrote this? Like, what is like what else did they write? Kind of things like that.
Yeah.
But like, we're weird. Like, I don't think this is. Yeah, that's not normal behavior.
It's not normal.
Not enough to get us like admitted, for a 24-hour hold or anything. But like, yeah, definitely.
As long as they have good music there, like.
Yeah.
Hold me.
I don't think they do. Yeah.
No,
I don't think they do.
It's like elevator music, I think.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's
I
no.
know.
Yeah, the Psychiatric Hold. Yeah, the 5150 soundtrack I don't think is great. I've never been.
I thought you said 5150 sound checked, and I was like, what?
Yeah, no, that's
No.
a different thing. Yeah, that's a totally different thing. That's the water park meet and greet.
Oh
my
God.
gosh. I will say the Parks fans that I just met at the Pomona show that I went to the other day were lovely. Everyone was so nice to each other. There was no rabid fandom weirdness or anything. Like everyone was so chill.
Well, how much of the weirdo fan stuff in general across all fandoms is mainly online versus in person, though? In general.
Well, I've seen some. I mean, mostly online. I would say. People get really.
People get weird online, but it's like
Confidence.
most of the people weird online like that will never say anything in person ever to anything.
I don't
Will they?
know.
I will say I was at a panel at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for Hopeless Records, and Fandom by Water Parks was on Hopeless Records. And so Austin was there at the panel discussing with people, and people like the fans in the crowd were asking him like, why didn't you respond to my Twitter comment? And we're just being really like, it was a lot.
I agree with that though. In person, I don't know. I've seen a lot of stuff, especially like at the last tour I went with Anthony Green, Jeff Rickley, and Kurt Travis. At the VIP, Anthony comes out, you get your camera, you get your candidates, which I will say, like his VIPs are always, you pay, the $100, but you get your personal photos, you get a time, like you really get the time.
Well, you get
it's
it at
like
VIP. I've never done a VIP.
Oh, so
You
it's
need to do one.
So it depends. Not all of them are
Yeah.
the same. I've been to some that I'm like, really, I paid for this, but I will say like at least Anthony Green, Ellis Dunes was top notch too. But like they, like for Anthony Green, he'll come out. His manager will take a bunch of photos, so you get like cool like candids. You get to chit chat, do whatever. You get like a print, and like a 3-song acoustic set. But at this one, there was a person, and I don't want to call them out. Well, a little bit,
Say
because
their
it was
fucking name.
it was a like parasocial, because people were giving gifts. Like I didn't give a gift because like sometimes I used to, but like I was like, whatever. I'm not going to do that. But
What kind of gifts are we talking?
You're
we
like,
talking
I'm
like
the gift.
money,
I come to your
So-
show.
cookies.
So I've given gifts in the past. There's like, in my little interview, it says you never come like empty-handed. So when Anthony Green had a child and was missing his child on the road, like in an interview, this is where I got a little creepy, but like, hear me out. So I made like a coffee mug of him and his son, and was like, oh, you're missing your little boy. I've been to so
Aw,
many
that's
shows before
sweet.
that. And he was
Yeah,
so like,
cute.
his wife loved it. And then once, I think some friends and I, we made like a Circus Survive like bib for the baby, because we knew he was going to be a dad. Or like one time, like I brought like food or whatever, like just little gifts like that, where it's just like, but again, it goes back to, oh, I want to be a big fan. And when I was just doing it to be kind, but someone else might have taken that like, oh, is she trying too hard? Is she doing that? But at this VIP, there was a fan that wanted to give their childhood stuffed animal to him. And he was kind of like, no, I don't, no, thank you. Like, you keep that. I'm not going to take your childhood stuffed animal. And I think that's where kind of like what I did, I think was different because it was like coming from a different space. And I wasn't like,
No, you weren't like that. The childhood gift, like the
Yeah.
childhood, that's just like you're like, I'm
Strange.
sacrificing a part of me to you. Like, I'm giving you a piece of me thing here. Whereas, like,
Mhm.
if someone made me something for like a thing like that for my kids or something, I would think that stuff was really, really nice until someone did something and acted a certain way where I didn't think it was nice, and then I would be on edge about it. You know what I mean? But like at first, my first thought was like, that's really nice. That's really sweet. Like if someone did that for me, that'd be cool. This and that. And then
yeah.
I'm like, until someone kind of fucked it up and was weird about it, and then I'd maybe be like, okay, no more of that. You know?
And sometimes then I think
No
it
more
turns
VIP.
right.
Yeah,
Then
no, yeah,
sometimes I
fuck
think
all
it
the rest.
turns to it almost becomes more. And I've heard Anthony say this. Like it almost becomes more about the fan than
Yes.
the gift itself. Like you want that. Like I see it with
Mhm.
Frank on my chem all the time. Frank, I've met him, and I will say I fangirled when I met him. I've been wanting to meet him forever, and he was so kind and so nice, and
Charming guy.
like word vomited on him, but
Yeah.
literally everybody was like, this man was swarmed so bad. I almost felt bad for him, right? Like he was excited to be there for the fans in VIP, but like it was a lot. Like I could tell. Like he's really patient with his fan base because
Well,
they
and there's
are very
also probably
passionate.
going from like MCR. I imagine there's like, it's like, you know, when you go to like a festival, the main stage, the barricade is like a 50-yard barricade. And then you go to a small show and like there's no barricade. Like I imagine that same kind of access applies
Right.
to them as humans. Whereas like Frank is like, when MCR's not doing fucking meet and greets, are they? Like,
No.
no chance. You know what I mean? They're
No.
not doing meet and greets. The closest people at the stadium, you know, while they're performing are yards, you know, 20 yards
Right.
away or whatever, you know, at the barricades, even when they're on the B stage, there's they're not a band for so long, so he's kind of in hiding, and then all of a sudden he's back in this, you know, mid-level touring act where they're playing, you know, 800 to the, you know, like 1,800 person venues, and it's like, oh, we're doing meet and greets, it's all close again. People are like, we can touch Frank, we can get close to him, kind of thing, like we can smell him, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. But also VIPs have like different like tiers too. Like you can buy like a basic VIP for most of the bands, and then you can buy like the really expensive ones that you can get like maybe side stage or whatever they have to offer.
I do
So
see those, and I don't. Oh, they follow me, but I'm just gonna say the Academy is what is going on with that tier.
fuck those guys.
I
oh,
think
I didn't even think of that.
Fuck
because
those guys.
I'm with you, Kanan. There are cool tiers. Like Newfound Glory
Yeah.
did one that was like
Yeah.
1 or 2 where you could be at the side stage. And like again,
Yeah.
VIPs are a great experience. I know people love or hate them, but for me, why I do them is I know that money is directly going to them. Like that
Mhm.
money is like right there. That's why I do it. Um, but I think when it becomes a little much, like I will say, the Gaslight Anthem back in the day did VIPs when it was new, like it was a newer thing, and they didn't include the ticket in the price, and it was like $120.
What
Um,
when
Well, a
was
lot of
this?
bands still do that. They'll make
ooh,
you buy the
I
ticket
think it
separately from the
right,
VIP.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. I thought it was a separate thing you buy.
and
Yeah.
but sometimes, like I'll say, like Ellis
Um,
Dunes, it was together, but the thing that got me mad about Gaslight Anthem back then was like it was already $120 and like you didn't get to meet the band, so that's another thing, and I respect that if bands don't, but it's like you're paying $120 essentially to get an early in line, early merch access, and you know, probably a
Early
good
merch
spot.
access is wild. That's fucking
mhm.
sick. I love a good grift. I love late stage capitalism, but that is like next level. Like you can buy, like imagine like my Target card was like, you get to come into the Target an hour early. You don't
Right.
get the savings, but you get to come in here and you get to shop extra. Like fucking
People love that.
sick. Like that, like
People
People
love
love
that
it.
stuff.
that's the only perk is I get to buy the merch early and then I gotta fucking hold it for the
Yes.
entire day. Like I'm there at 5 p.m. and I gotta hold it until 11 p.m. and then I gotta leave the venue and I'm still lugging around this fucking bag of $150 worth of blouses I bought after
Yeah.
giving you $150 for the meet and greet and $100 for the ticket. Like
I think that some tiers aren't bad, but like some tiers, it's like, and again, the bad thing is some VIPs don't let you go back outside. And like to your point, when I saw Ellis Dunes, I got this cool autograph book, which was really, really cool. And like, I was like, all right, this was awesome. Like, I got Tucker, I got Travis, I got all these signatures in here, but I had to hold it the whole time.
Yeah, nightmare.
Mhm.
And they wouldn't let me out. And I'm like, that's when I wish they would let you out, put it back, go back in, because otherwise it kind of sucked because I had to hang in the back because I didn't want to lose this autograph book. I didn't
So
want
they're
to
just
lose
bringing you
it.
in the venue, like, because you're there for, usually, traditionally, these things center around, like, sound check, right?
Yeah.
And sound
Yeah.
check for the main band is usually 2 hours or so before doors. So
Mm-hmm.
you're getting there for a doors at 7.
Like,
The band plays at 9:30. You're getting your meet and
Like
greet starts at
5:30.
5 o'clock, and you're there
Yeah.
at least an hour beforehand. Like you're doing a full fucking shift for this band.
oh, I was dying at
Mhm.
Ellis Dunes because like we had to get there at 3:30 because they wanted to let us in at 4. The show I think started at 6:30 or 7. By the time it was 11 o'clock, I'm like, I'm old. I'm tired.
Right,
Get me
that's
out of
I'm
here.
cooked. Yeah, I'm like,
I'm
fuck,
done.
dude.
Never again. But it is cool. And I think, Kanan, have you done any VIP that was like a high tier, pretty expensive, and was
State
worth
champs.
it?
State champs. Excuse me. State champs. 1,000%. I paid like $200 to do side stage VIP
That's not
at this
bad.
Orlando
What's
show.
so
last year.
size HVP? Like you get to watch the show from the side of the stage.
Their whole set you got to watch from the. I was standing right to the left of the drummer Evan
Okay,
the whole time with like 6 or 7 other people. It was really small.
that's
Like there was,
cool.
yeah, and they let us. So we got to go into their green room, and we got to hang out there for like half an hour. And they gave us like snacks, and we were just
Whoa.
talking, and that
What
was
kind
really
of
cool. And then
snacks?
there was like veggie plates, and then like Derek was like, "Oh, do you guys want some seltzers, like some White Claws or whatever?"
Damn.
And we
I'm
just like were
jealous at
just
this
shooting
one.
the
That's a
shit. It
pretty
was
good,
really
yeah.
fun.
That's a really okay. That's worthwhile. Like,
That
yeah,
one was,
like
yeah.
you sides. I mean, that's basically you're getting like an upgraded super VIP ticket there as well as other shit, and you're actually getting to hang out. It's not because like that's the thing. I think like I'm also seeing like photos of like larger artists outside of our world. Like I'm thinking of like Avril and Chris Brown meet and greet photos. You know, where like Avril's not really, you know, kind of like doing the fake
Mhm.
arm, or and then
Like
Chris
Lance
Brown is
Bass
doing
with
the
Danielle
opposite.
Fishel at
Oh
prom.
my gosh, yeah. But I get it though. Like some of them, like even Good Charlotte, they'll just stand there like.
Yeah.
But again,
And like
maybe it's a weird
normally
thing with cancel
when you do
culture.
side stage, like normally when they offer side stage VIP, it's like they'll let you in for the first like 3 songs, like the photographers, and then they'll be like, "Okay, you got to go." But like the whole set, it was like amazing. I would buy it in a heartbeat again.
Even if it was 3, I still think that's pretty cool
Yeah.
Yeah.
compared to the other ones. Like I'm thinking like it's like, oh, you get to see the sound check, and then like,
Yeah.
That's
you know,
usually
you
what
get
it
the early
is.
merch stuff, and maybe you can ask a couple questions, but you're there with 8 other people, and like I know like Lisa, we have like the weird, this is the elitist part of it where it's like, well, we host shows where we interview people. So we maybe have better, like same thing. Like when I went to the Good Charlotte thing, I was like, I could ask these guys 100 questions right now and like really get some good information out of them. But then everyone else is kind of just like doing the like, what's your favorite song? You know, like what song do you like to play? You know, like, I'm
To
like,
your
fuck
point,
off.
literally, Ellis students had a question to answer, and I was like, "Oh my god, I have the perfect question. Please say it." And then the tour manager collected them and shared them, and they would want them to answer like, "What's your favorite color? What's this? What's that?" And I'm like, "Where's mine? Where's mine? Because mine is a good question, and I want them." And no, they wanted those like
The fluff
cheesy
one, yeah,
fluff ones,
yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
so bummed because it was like,
Like I have
This is a
hard hitting
good
fucking shit here. Yeah,
question.
I was
I
like,
had
"This is
like
Ellis
Substance.
Tunes."
I wanted to ask
Um,
like, you know, I'm like, you guys grew up like they grew up so ghetto to me. I'm like, they're more like hip hop artists at the root of
Right.
it. I wanted to ask like how they think maybe, you know, growing up in a different economic situation than other bands would have has affected their work ethic, and maybe it's part of this and that, you know, like very in depth, intricate question kind of thing. But it's kind of more like, what's your favorite of the new songs, you know? And it's
Mhm.
like that's valid, but like it reminds me of like when like. Okay, so we're about to reference One Direction maybe for the first time on this show, and also Kid Rock for the first time maybe
Oh
on this
god.
show, and preferably will be the last time we reference one of them.
Mhm.
But Zayn, before he left One Direction, I remember there's this clip going around, and him like he's in like they're like in a car together, like a limo, and he's like there was this coffee table book for the let me see if I can flip on the British accent. A coffee table book for this artist, Kid Rock, you know? and it was like, you
It
know,
sounded like him.
there was very cool videos, like, you know, like photos of him like on the mountain, you know, things like this, and it wasn't a bunch of like my favorite color is blue bullshit like that, you know what I mean? He didn't have to do any of that. And it's just like you could tell, like even those guys, like they were just kind of drained, because it's kind of like these are the questions you answer, because like, you know, like we're looking at things very in depthly, weirdly over the top. Like this is Trump's America. The average person is reading at a 5th grade fucking level. You know what I mean? Like things aren't really that depth in this society we live in. We need to dumb it down a little, and that's kind of like that's the target right there. Is like, I love blue. I'm a Capricorn. Pizza's my favorite food. You know
Very
what I mean?
J14.
Yeah. And it's exactly what it's like. It's like it's J14 shit. And it's like you could tell like Zayn Malik was like fucking sick of it, and he's like, I want to be an artist. You know what I mean? Like I see like he's using fucking Kid Rock. That's how fucking down bad, you know, this guy was. He's like, look at this guy, Kid Rock. That's an artist over here. You know what I mean? Look at this guy. He's free to do whatever he wants. And it's like, yeah, Kid Rock. Look, no offense to the ball.
Not allowed to play in California, though.
Yeah. Shout out, Gavin.
There we go.
You're banned.
Anyway.
Bob Ritchie. Yeah.
I will also say back to the Champs VIP, because I love them.
Yeah.
They gave us exclusive limited merch for the VIP as well. We got like a beanie that said
They gave it
Champs
to
on
you?
it. Huh?
They gave it to you, or you had to buy it?
Well, it's part of the VIP package.
But like,
but
it was part of what you bought.
Yeah, we got a tote bag, a signed poster, and then we got a beanie that said Champs in like Clueless from the movie Clueless, like that font, because they have a song called Clueless on their new record. And I thought that was like special. That wasn't just, you can get
sick. Yeah.
early access.
You can go buy our shit early. No, it's like you gave us money. We're giving you. I think it's like at the end of the day, these are businesses, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like if you were to go spend your money at like a restaurant or something, it's like, what am I getting in return for my dollar? And it's like a lot of the bands, like these artists, like I feel like there's I think most artists mean well with them. And I think most artists are coming at it for the perspective of, hey, we don't make money recording music, and touring is a lot tighter than before. We need to find alternative income, you know, revenue sources. And it's like meet and greets are a great way, but it's like, ethically speaking, you need to be offering something to these people to make it worthwhile to them. Otherwise, you're taking advantage of your most loyal supporters.
Yeah.
And I think that's where fan engagement, like fan loyalty, like comes into play too, because they need to be asking fans what they're expecting to get out of it. Like nothing like exorbitant or like crazy about like, I expect to talk to them for an hour, you know, something realistic.
But you'll at least get real answers out of them if you're
like,
actually engaging
what do you
with your fans.
expect if you spend $100 on VIP? What are you expecting? An acoustic 5-song set, a Q&A, like what do you want from us?
I think what does everybody want? They want that picture. I think again, now if there's safety concerns or reasons, I respect that. But hearing what State Champs does, I'm just like, all right, I will still keep supporting them. That is a class act to, yes, this is what this is. And you are literally providing that and making it worthwhile. That is, to me, hands down, one of the best VIP stories I've heard.
Yeah.
And I think that's so now it makes me like want to listen to them more, because I love them. I love State Champs.
Yeah, they're amazing. Also, before they even got us to the green room, we were all in the venue, and they stood there for like an hour just talking to us. All four of them were just rotating, talking to everybody, and just, you know, shooting the shit. It was amazing. Yeah, they're class act.
Because that's all people want, is like that interaction. And like that's like the same, like the Ellis Dunes or Anthony Green one that you're allowed to, he'll go down the line. They have you set up in the line. They have it really organized where, here we go. Now you can't sit there and talk for like hours, because there's like maybe, I think there were like 40 at my VIP, but each person had their time. And I loved that like my conversation was different than the next person's and like things like that. And I think that that's all people like, they want that sort of picture to have, like, I met them and I had this, or like that moment. And I think when people don't have pictures, I think, and I'm not an artist, it's the least you could kind of do if they're spending $200, like $100 of their.
I was gonna say,
money.
so there's 40 people. How much did each person spend? How much was it? So
for me, for the Anthony Green one, it was $100, or no. Yeah, it was either $100 or 75. Usually they're 75 or 100. But, and then again, you got so that's 40 people spending that much.
So that's $4,000. Let's say that's $4,000 across the board, split in a band. That band has 5 people or 4 people.
Which one?
LS Dudes. Is it 4 of them?
God.
Or
10
5
people in that band.
Hang on, Tucker, Anthony, 5.
5. So let's say there's still cuts being taken out of that and all that shit. Everyone there just made $700 or $600 or so to hang out. You guys can go to a nice dinner every night of the tour. Between the meet and greet and your set, you can go to the nicest restaurant in town every single night for fucking free. Because these people that are buying your, like, and it's one thing like, okay, Mike Hem, Taylor, when bands get bigger and bigger, the fans get weirder. Like you mentioned safety earlier. My thought is like, I'm thinking of like 90% of these bands, safety isn't an issue because it's usually like sweet, awkward, dorky girls. Like, what the fuck are they gonna, they might be weird, but like they're fairly harmless. Like, I don't think danger really comes into it until you're much larger or you're like a solo female
Are we allowed
act.
to bring up like really dangerous things?
You can
Because
bring whatever the fuck you
I
want.
immediately thought of Christina Grimmie.
Yeah.
Oh, she got shot, right?
Yeah, by the fan.
I don't know nothing about her. What was that
like a
about?
super fan guy came to like her meet and greet, and she went to go give him a hug, and he shot her.
That was at a meet and greet? Why did I think that was like Daryl Dimebag, like during a show?
Yeah, I didn't know it was at a meet and greet. I thought it was like after the show, like on the street, which is still awful.
Yeah, no, like he was like going up to like she was meeting fans after the show, like they were like in line at like her merch table or whatever, and she went in to hug him, and he just that's scary. Like that.
She was in like a pop group, right? A girl group.
She was on YouTube. She did like covers on YouTube, and then she was on The Voice.
That's The Voice.
What kind
and
of sick
so
fuck
yeah,
is
but she
that?
had a
Obsessed with
huge internet following, like parasocial, like people become obsessed.
What's fucking wrong with these people?
That's like too, and like you even bring that. I think a Fall Out Boy, they stopped doing meet and greets for that reason because people were really weird with them. Because I went in like I think 2005 or 6. Was
I'd
the
say
last
from that point
time.
on they got too big. Like that's about the cutoff. Yeah.
That was so like when I went to the Flyaway, like literally we went to this Flyaway, Overcast Kids. You did have to pay for it. I think it was like $300, but you got your hotel room for the weekend. You did virtual reality. You did sports. You got to have lunch with them at Hard Rock. You got to go to the venue early. You got all the and then like at the hotel the night before, like the Hush Sound played, and then Fall Out Boy, like. It was so cool and totally worth every penny there. But like, that's when it did start to get weird with Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
And I understand why like people are even bringing pictures of, the incident with Pete Wentz and, full
They're
frontal.
trying to get him to sign his fucking leaked dick pic.
Yeah. And like, I get that and understand why they haven't. But like for someone like Amanda, I would love for her to have that meet and greet, to have that picture of her in the middle of Fall Out Boy. I would love for her to have that, and it sucks that like she's cheated because there were people that were weird.
It's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, give a psych eval to like every fan?
That's and you bring up someone getting same thing where I'm like, it's if people brought stuff for my kids, it'd be cool until it wasn't. Meet and greets sound really cool until you fucking read the news about some girl getting shot at her meet and greet, and then you're like, well, maybe these aren't so harmless,
Like, do you guys know the band Against the Current?
I know the name.
I've heard of, I know the name, but I don't know.
They're a 3-piece from Poughkeepsie, but their lead singer Chrissy Costanza, she's fairly popular, like on YouTube, and then she does like gaming stuff and streaming on Twitch. When I went to their meet and greet a couple of years ago, they were doing like they were saying don't hug her, don't pick her up. Like they were kind of warning all of us like things not to do, and I'm just like, what has happened at these meet and greets?
Why would you be just picking up some random fucking woman?
Why are you picking her up? Like,
that feels like it's assault. I don't really know no.
And it goes back to like fans thinking too, like again, the parasocial. We know these people. Oh, I'm okay. I can do this. Like I never go in for, even like when I go see Anthony Green at like my 10th VIP. I'm not going in for the hug. I'm seeing like, okay, he goes in for that. Or if when I met Frank, did I get a hug? No, we took a picture. I got a handshake. Hi, I'm Frank. And that was that. I didn't go in like, hey, you owe me this hug. You owe me.
You hit him with the worst, my hug, like the fucking worst dudes. Yeah.
Like, I can't do that. I don't want to be like that. And I think it's like being respectful. Like, it's great to be a fan. Half the opportunities I've gotten in my life with the podcast or in anything is because I'm a fan first. But you have to be respectful. Like, it's great that you're awarded these cool opportunities. Like, I couldn't imagine being like in the green room with state champs and doing that. But like, you have to be respectful. If they're willing to do that, it's just knowing your place that, yes, you're a fan, but you also like, you don't know these people. Like I always tell people, because so many people tell me, oh, you know Anthony Green, you know him. And I was like, listen, whatever this is, like the stage and this is what I know. I don't know him like every day, like
You don't
calling
know?
up or
Yeah.
like I don't
Yeah.
know him personally,
not
and I don't know
personally.
any of my favorite bands personally. Like, yes, they
Mhm.
probably recognize me if I go see them, but like, or I'm sure like, you know, Champs probably with you, like they probably are like, oh,
Yeah.
I know her. Or like, you know, it's
But
like
it's the
anyone
same
you
way.
That
met.
girl again.
It's the same way that I know my guy Bilal at the 7-Eleven there, where it's like, yo, we're boys. I come in, I see you. What's up? It's like, I don't know your family. I don't know your. I
No,
don't know your fucking last name. I don't know your. You know, I don't. I don't
nothing.
like. I don't know what really makes you, especially with like artists. Like you're releasing. If you're in a band, you're releasing probably 12 songs every 2 years. You're releasing 30 minutes of content. That's 30 minutes of an opening into your world plus some interviews, which are all to some degree curated, or you know what I mean? Like not curated, but you know, I mean, we
Yeah.
host shows, you know, it's not
Curated.
like you're not
Yeah.
seeing me like fucking telling my kid to stop doing something, or like seeing me wake up in the morning. You know what I mean? You're seeing me on a thing where the light's on or something like that. Like
Mhm.
you don't really fucking know these people. Like you've seen the 10 interviews with them that you've watched,
Yeah.
but it's like you've never really sat down. I mean, even like when we interview a band on here, it's like there's bands that like, and it's like, that's my boy. Like we're cool. Like I fucking like that guy. Like they're coming town and go see him. But it's like, we hung out for an hour. You know what I mean? We
Right.
chit chatted for an hour and I know your music, but it's like, I fucking have hung out with coworkers for 1,000 times that. And like, I don't know shit about them. So what do I know
Right.
about you kind of thing, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Mhm.
And I do worry about Austin Knight though.
Yeah.
I worried that something's gonna happen at the meet and greets and they're gonna like, you know, either pull it or something's gonna happen to him or something. Like I just feel this like imminent doom. Like I mean, I hope it doesn't, obviously, but
I
I'm
think
with
that
you.
guy, I have also have like, it's not an all dudes thing. Like maybe it's not fair of me to say about dudes where it's like I figured that most of them could handle themselves, but like with Austin Knight, I very much get this. Like I think he's very good at business. I think he's very good at the pro wrestling marketing side of music, where it's like I'm creating this character and this is fun, but it's like that motherfucker's an entrepreneur. I think he can handle himself. I think he's also made himself villainy at time in ways like online, you know what I mean? Like he's not afraid
like
to talk
rage
his
bait,
shit.
yeah,
Just rage bait where it's
1000%.
like he I think he can handle himself. You know what I mean? I'm not super worried about him, and given that the fan base is mainly like, I'm not too scared of
Right.
the 15-year-old girls of the world. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean? They could do
I wouldn't put
damage
it
if
past them, honestly.
they
Like
combine, but they're not going to
their
physically
new
hurt you.
song that they put out, the "If Lyrics Were Confidential" song about like the stalker type fans. Like it's, you know, you can't live a normal life. Like people are following you around. You know, he has to hide his relationships from the fan base. Like they
It's a
just
is that a thing still? Because my dad used to tell me that. Like when I would
yeah.
play shows, my dad would be like, "You can never bring girlfriends around at the shows." Like I have a buddy Kevin that played in this band, The Material. And The Material was fairly big around here, but like they never blew up. And like my dad, like I remember he saw him one time. He's like, "Oh, it's because she wears her wedding ring. You know, she's married." Like, and it's like, no, I've never noticed a ring on someone's hand in my entire life. But it's like, oh, you got to appear accessible to these people. I'm like, I've never once thought in my head that like I was gonna bang the guy on stage. Like, is this like a thought people have? Maybe not that they're gonna bang the guy on stage, but like they're like, this is someone accessible to me.
With
Yeah.
Austin, yeah, 1000%.
Like adult women?
Uh,
18 to 24, maybe. I don't know about anything older than that, but
Shit.
I think there was something on was it TikTok? There was some app that you could, I forget the creator, but they were saying that there was some app that you can use AI and like put yourself with your favorite singer and act as if like you're with them.
oh,
And
I
like,
saw that.
I
right?
swear
That
I
is
just
so
saw that recently. I
creepy.
saw that
And-
like 2 days ago.
And I was like, again, there's things like that. And I do think like maybe it's Austin, but like other people do believe like if they break up, they're like, if say they're with someone, they're like, oh, well, now we have a chance or now we're
Now we have a
this. And it's
chance.
like, you don't have, I mean, maybe that once in a lifetime Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift thing happens, but we're
But
not
Travis Kelce isn't some random guy. Like
Right,
he
we're
had,
not Travis
he had
Kelce.
full
We're
access in
not-
that stadium after winning multiple Super Bowls
Right,
there.
like,
Like,
we're-
yeah,
like it's
he
like
had some pull.
you're not Travis Kelce that's going to be a fan that has a bracelet that's going to meet and
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's
basically get
it's a
married.
one-time fairy tale thing. There's a reason that's a
It-
fairy tale. It doesn't happen often, and that is a
No.
very, very rare instance of that
And it-
working. It
And then
wasn't
I
a
also
random
hear
guy.
think like Austin has his PO box like unboxing videos, and he's just opening those things up. Like, you don't know what people are
Oh,
sending
yeah,
you.
you told me
know?
that. People are just sending like weird random shit there.
They sent him dolls last time, like these creepy haunted dolls.
Oh no.
And it was a lot. Like, some people send him really thoughtful things that they've made, and like, you know, like just fun things that maybe he asked for. Like, he loves like those Twizzlers that are like the lemonade whatever Twizzlers. Like, he loves those. People like send him that, or like he covers his couch in like a tarp because somebody sent him like a glitter bomb one time. But like, he doesn't know what he's opening. It's like people could be sending you like scary things. I don't know. It's just just things that cross my mind. I'm like, I don't know.
Let me ask you guys before which by the way, thank you for helping me make it to the end of the first solo Emo Kids Anonymous episode.
Just yapping about it.
This was fucking daunting. Let's talk some shit. What are the fucking worst fan bases? It's deep enough in that everyone that would talk some shit and get mad at us has stopped watching at this point. They flipped over to an unboxing video or something.
I think we're charming enough to. They're gonna go watch Austin's 50-minute unboxing.
Yeah,
right
they've already left to go watch these other things. So now, run your mouths now. Who are the worst fan bases?
Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Really?
These are Southern California things that Kanan. These are
those
Pennywise fans,
sorry
Bad Religion fans, Rancid fans, NoFX fans, like Offspring fans,
NoFX fans,
even Blink fans in Southern California. Unfucking bearable. It's fucking 300-pound fucking big dude, fucking like dirt bike kind of big dudes. The Pit is big, sweaty fucking punk rocker dudes who are like fucking Social Distortion looking motherfuckers. Like, and I love these bands, but like when I moved down to Southern California full time, started going to these shows for these bands, I was like, fuck this sucks. Like, I saw the Offspring because Alkaline Trio opened for them one time, and I was like, yo, MAGA, this is like 10 years before MAGA, but like this was a MAGA rally. Like, it was like, I'm like, this is the most NASCAR shit I've ever been to in my fucking life. But like, that's like a weird Southern California thing.
Is it a SoCal take?
It's a SoCal.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't relate. Yeah,
truly, this is a SoCal thing. It's like those punk band, like it's like a very bro punk oriented shit. That's bad in SoCal. Especially like Ventura County and Orange County. You'll get it very San Diego as well. Not as much LA, because LA you'll get a little more of everything, but like, the just straight beach communities, like especially like
Huntington.
Yeah, those are, Orange County is redneck. San Diego and Ventura are military. And it's just like, you're getting a lot of big bros who are like, they're just there to fucking unleash some energy during bro him.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
Wow. Yeah, I was like not expecting that. I was just like, what?
Lisa,
really?
it's
Very
fucked, bro. It sucks. Yeah,
What
no,
have
it's
they done? Like, I mean, obviously the main one, I'm not a fan, but anytime anyone says they're a fan of this band, I'm just like, okay, we need to, and sorry, Mapatis, I know you like them.
Our
Tool.
Sleep Token. Oh,
Tool.
Tool fans are tools.
And then obviously
they're full of themselves too. They think they're fucking the Fibonacci sequence is that it's incel shit. It's it's like Rick and Morty music or something like that. It's like you don't like it, you just don't understand. Maybe I just don't fucking really like it that much. Maybe I just don't want to hear the fucking bass guitar do a fucking solo and then the guy scream for a minute and a half. Maybe it just doesn't do anything for me. But it's like, no, like you just don't understand how complex it is. It's like, get the fuck over yourself. It's radio rock.
Yeah. I'm trying to think I will say that people watching fan base, when I saw Limp Bizkit, that was a people watchers MAGA rally. I was not expecting, I love new metal. I love Limp Bizkit. So I was like all excited. Being in that crowd, I definitely was like, I got to get out of here. And again, the fan base that are male, they are a little insufferable to deal with. Like, I'm like, how do I like this band? Because like I'm lumped in here with these people and I shouldn't be because they're just like, get away from me. And then
it's great because a lot of those especially like the main new metal bands, like we've talked about Korn before, like Korn, Limp Bizkit too, where it's like Fred Durst to me is like a fucking genius. Like I've watched the Woodstock. There's a Trainwreck Woodstock '99 documentary on Netflix. I've watched it like 10 times. I watched it like a week ago, and it's awesome. I love Fred Durst. He is so good. Like the world is cool, everything is marketing, everything is pro wrestling. He's so good at like he really nailed the like. It's like in boxing, people don't pay to watch a boxing match because they want to see their guy win. They're paying to watch someone that they don't like get punched in the fucking mouth. And Fred Durst was so good at that, where it's like, I'm gonna make you all fucking hate me, and then like the real guy is actually like kind of a sweetheart, and he's kind of a genius, and he's like a great director and this and that, and he's a visionary, but it's very much like fucking red baseball cap, like, you know what I mean? And it's like just attracts the assholes because then he seems like an asshole. It's like it's kind of like he's the chaotic good to like a chaotic evil that is my dear friend of this podcast, Ronald Rathke. You know what I mean? Same kind of thing where it's like you're being a heel, but like there's a good way, respectable way to do it, and a disrespectful way to do it. And I think Fred does it in a very respectful way.
I'll say he's for the kids because you know what? I saw them. He literally brought up, he said, how many of you have kids here? All the kids got brought up on stage to sit on the stage. And then I guess some kid had like money and he was like, hey, who's got some money? And like he, obviously I think this fan, like a longtime fan, like Fred wasn't just asking this guy for money, but like literally handing kids money, like dollar bills, like here you go. And like, it was so amazing. It was like that moment was cool. And like obviously, yeah, you already said it, Rob, Sleep Token. The most insufferable, I have said I don't like Sleep Token. I can't get into it.
Dog shit.
And they attack.
It's for fucking people that don't like music. It's for fucking,
I've never listened to Sleep Token.
It's for fucking chicks that are really into Taylor Swift and fucking like romance novels.
So many people are like, you just don't get it. I was like, and then they'll say it's metal. It's not metal.
It's
that
Usher
is
metal.
Not metal. I don't know what it is. It's
Degent.
like book talk. It's like book
Degent,
talk.
octane core fucking. It's like the softest of the Glass Animals meets the Bring Me the Horizon kind of electronic-y, heavy rock shit, but like more sensual. It's just like, oh, it's sexy. It's like,
no.
Is it really? It's like AI, chat GBT ass lyrics. They're doing pro wrestling. They're all like pretend.
I was gonna say, you know what music is sexy? The Home Team. Just bringing them
up. I'm not really a fan, but yes.
The Home Team, there's some, that's some fucking music. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Rob, what was your answer?
Most toxic fan base?
Yeah.
In my personal experience, it's the fucking astronaut people. It's brand new fans. Brand new fans are at this point unfucking bearable. And I was a giant brand new fan, as was Lisa. This is one of our main things we have in common, where it's like, I loved brand new. I have a fucking half-finished fucking astronaut on my side over here somewhere, where it's like
new.
But it's like, and I was one of these people who I wouldn't defend, because like that's not good behavior, but like I also was kind of like, hey, a lot of these guys back then were chatting up girls, none of it was good, it's a slippery slope. As being anti-right wing as I can be, I'm also very into the idea of like, this is America, these are the rules of America. America's capital, like, let these people exist, let them do their thing, don't cancel anyone, this or that. But like, as more information came out about Jesse, obviously me and Lisa were both very much like, all right, we're done with this, like we just, it felt sticky to us. And I'm sure it's the same thing to you, where it's like, I was never trying to, like, if I say something bad about brand new, it's about the one guy in particular. I will fucking crack jokes on him. Because I don't think talking to 16-year-olds makes you a pedophile. I think it makes you a fucking loser.
Right. Like, and that was my thing. I was bad. When that all came out, I defended. And I was sitting there and when everyone, I've changed my mind.
Yeah, this disclosure here. None of us, we're not pro. No one's pro brand new here anymore.
Literally was that person that was hopping on Twitter, and like I found this one girl that like found all this stuff like back, like the accuser and this and that. Oh, look, they're lying. I'm like, see, and I'm sending it to people, and I'm like, no, I met him this one time, and again, that's where the fandom like.
And he was nice to me this one time, as I'm paying him $200. Yes,
like,
and you're 10 years too old for him to fucking chase.
I literally, it was one of those things that, like, why was I doing that? Again, I didn't know this guy. I'm defending. I'm saying, no. And again, oh, we all did. They all did it. Oh, no. And why did I do that? Why was I was the most insufferable brand new fan. I was awful. And yeah, they would be one too that even now, like, they will hop on. I don't even engage anymore because I used to be like, hey, you're wrong when people were buying tickets. And I understood that, why some did. That it was just like, why are you defending this man? You don't know them.
You don't know this motherfucker.
You don't know them.
He helped me a lot when I was really, when I was this, and it's like, get the fuck over it. Like Dan Rinaldi, friend of both of ours, you introduced us. He came on our show because of you. Dan said it best, where he's like, no band saved your life. And with the brand new stuff, like when I talked to my dear friend and a man who endorses this show strongly, Scott's Records. Scott's basically like, they're like, it's like a Donald Trump thing with this band where it's like the people that hate them, the hate seems to be so strong, which on the same sense, like, I don't like mentioning Brand New at all because on both ends, it just gets ugly. Like, I don't want like ugly discourse happening on my page. Like, it's it's like the antithesis of why I talk about music online in general. Like, it's just supposed to be a nice time, but like the people that will hate Brand New will come in so strong towards everyone that likes them or anything like that, which I found myself guilty. Like, there's been a couple times I've seen people post videos like from like larger creators, like anyone with more than like 500 followers kind of thing, and I'll be like, brother, like, don't do this. You know what I mean? But the people will come at them so strongly where it's like, oh, you're supporting pedophile or some sort of like very extreme language like that. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the same thing I say about political stuff where it's like, we need to stop calling people that aren't totally Nazis, because then when they don't end up being Nazis, we look like we're crying wolf, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong, some of those people on that side are Nazis, but like, there's actual fucking like, I felt like throwing Jesse in the same, if things are black or white, then we're taking away from very serious, not even allegations, but very serious heinous acts, like the fucking the lost prophet guy, things like that. It's like those shouldn't be in the same bucket.
No,
like there's levels. That's the only things that should be canceled to me are like lost prophet guy kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, but like a Jesse should be up. You know, Brandy, that should be up to your decision. You know, and at the very least, I think you said it best, where it's like, just think about how you're spending your money or what you're supporting. Just as long as you've thought about it a little, you know what I mean? But like, you can tell the people that will come in that will defend it. And part of me thinks it like, it starts interlapping with this political thing, because I had it like the last time I mentioned Brand New on my page, someone was like, oh, so you're in support of cancel culture, this or that? And I'm like, fucking cancel culture is not real, brother. Like, fucking turn on, like, turn on your TV and fucking turn on the news. Look at who's the president. Look at this. Like, do you think cancellation's real? Like, that doesn't fucking happen. You know what I mean? But like, as it very much like becomes defending. And it's like, well, I would have let him do this too. I would have done the same thing. Great. You would have been, when you were a stupid 17-year-old girl, I'm sure you would have. I'm an adult man. And I think back to even being like a 23, 24, 25, 22, 21-year-old adult man. And it's like, if one of my buddies brought around like a fucking 16-year-old girl, we would have clowned him. Like, we wouldn't have maybe been like, you're being a bad person, but we would have been like, bro, you're being a loser. You know what I mean? Like, we wouldn't have been like, we wouldn't have ignored it or enabled it. You know what I mean? So like, when people are like, oh, it was the time. And yeah, it was the time. I remember knowing girls I went to high school with that were dating guys in college, but like, I don't remember having friends at those ages that did that. And if they were doing it, which I hope they fucking weren't, but if they were, they knew to do it in the fucking shadows. You know what I mean? We're like in fucking hideaway, like the fucking creeps that they were. Whereas like, when the Brand New stuff came out the next time around, it was like, okay, everyone was aware of this. It wasn't just Jesse, because that was my thing too for a while. It was like, hey, there's 5, sometimes 6 guys in this band all together. Jesse's not the only one making the art. He's not the only one writing all them. You know, I know Vinny played a large part in later stuff as well. There's other guys that make a living off this, production, crew, management. We can't just close down a business because the president of the company is an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, that's not fair to everyone else. They deserve a chance. But if those people are also enabling, and then to me, it was like, okay, well, fuck this band. And once I said, fuck this band, people would literally unfollow over it. You know what I mean? And even like Jezzy, you mentioned Jezzy earlier. Me and Jezzy became friends because I posted something where it was like, I still listen to Brand New. Don't be mad at me. And she's like, you say that, no one will be mad at you. But like, I get threats in my inbox when I mention Brand New. Like, the response to that band is so extreme and polarizing on both ends that to me, it's just like, I never want to hear them again. Like, when I'll throw on, like, every now and then I'll hear a fucking, like, an old song, like a from the first record, Your Favorite Weapon. And I can enjoy those still for some reason. But when I hear the later stuff, all I hear is a fucking incel. And to me, and this is like offensive to the people that like Brand New still. And let me just say, I was one of these people that did like Brand New, but it's like, to me, Brand New is deep music for shallow people. This is our version of Radiohead. It's our version of Radiohead because we listen to fucking 3-chord bubblegum songs about guys losing their girlfriends and wanting to leave their hometown. So yeah, Brand New felt very deep. But was Brand New that fucking deep? Like, it's very deep if your name is Kyle and you like punching walls and you went to rehab before you're 23 and you've been drinking Monster Energies fucking every day of your life. Like, it's deep to them.
But not our friend Kyle.
I was just going to say, not our friend Kyle.
No.
We know good Kyles. Yeah, not our friend Kyle, not our friend Andy's husband Kyle, not those Kyles. Yeah, actually, our Kyle, we have a drywall business. So if you did punch some drywall, give us a call. We will come fix it. Appraisals are free.
Yeah, no, but you're right that like I thought I was so cool because like I got caught on a brand new before people and then they became so massive from Tumblr and I thought I was just so cool at art school loving brand new and like was I? Like were they this again, they were our Radiohead,
And
I
that was the
think
thing.
like
That was the one band from our world that had any sort of like credibility outside of our scene. Most of the bands from our scene were shat on or seen as like kid music. Brand New was the one that was like cool to like the Pitchfork and the indie crowd. So it was kind of like this is our one really good band. You know what I mean? And like I think a lot of people that didn't like them and kind of got sick of people like me and you like jerking off over Brand New when the Jesse
yes.
stuff happened. In bad faith, they were almost kind of like, well, fucking, I told you these guys sucked.
And I
you know what I
never
mean?
liked them.
I never liked them. I always thought they sucked. Because same thing with Radiohead, like people or the Beatles or any of these bands that are great or big and they get weird. People are like, oh, they're overrated. This now. Well, I always knew Brand New sucked, and then they had a reason to pile on it and also feel like morally just for it too, because you can be like, you're supporting pedophiles, which like you guys sound like right wingers when you say that stuff. By the way.
Yeah,
we can't both sound like right wingers because the people defending them are being like, well, you support cancel culture. They sound like right wingers. We sound like right wingers too. Let's just stop for a second and think about, do we sound like January Sixers right now? If we sound like January Sixers, we should chill the fuck out.
Yeah. And at that point, I was so awful defending. Again, that's where the fandom gets a little dicey and like toxic. Of well, again, why was I going out of my way to dig up this article from this or this
Yeah, why are you defending this man?
Like literally, and people would be like, Lisa, I get it. I know you love Brand New so much. They're your favorite band ever, but like take a step back. And I wouldn't. And it wasn't until the new allegations that I shifted. Even then, I had tickets in my cart to go see them. I'll be honest.
I bought tickets. I bought tickets. And then like 3 days later, that shit happened. That shit was all in the same week. And then I bought the tickets. And then she emailed us after you spoke with her. And then I literally was like, she emailed me once. She didn't respond when I responded back, but it's just like, I've spoken to this person one time. That's a homie now. Like, I can't go to this shit. Like, I literally would have felt like if the ticket, like, and also there's a weird thing too, where like the resale on those tickets was not very good. I imagine the Brand New show is gonna be some insane thing. The resale was terrible because in my head I was like, I'm gonna sell the tickets. I paid $100 a piece. I'm gonna sell them. I'm gonna split the money with Ayana. I was only able to sell them for like $20 a piece or something, to the point that I would have felt insulting for me to be like, hey, let me send you $40 here. You know, like.
Yeah, it was like even here in Jersey. I mean, I know they're Long Island, but even here it was like $40 resale. I just wanted to see because I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And could not believe that. And again, like, but at least I would talk to some fans and some were really good with the engagement of me. Like, hey, I used to be like you too. I defended this man, everything. But like, take a look at this. I changed. Again, you do you, but like, just know that you're supporting someone that used their platform to really abuse that platform. So, I mean, that's a you thing. I'm like not for me. So
and again, a lot of people,
favorite.
music is what this was a phase, and music is a thing they fucking clean their house to. So like, that's not something they're too concerned with a lot of the times. Like I just want to hear the song that I really liked when I was 17 years old and
like,
felt
there are
feelings
bigger
really
problems
strong.
in the world. Why are you so
worried about that? Well, if we're gonna do this, then it's this slippery slope. You're right. One thing I say is like every dollar I spend eventually makes its way into the hands of a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? If you're paying your rent or any bill, any of the people that, I live in an apartment building with a property management company. These people are fucking slumlords here. I'm giving them $3,000 a month. You know, you pay for the cable companies, the banks, like these companies. All the people at the very top of the companies are, objectively speaking, not great people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, but with music stuff and entertainment stuff, these are things you have choices on in terms of spending your money. Like there's 1,000 artists you can give this money to. There's not 1,000 cable companies you can give this money to with varying levels of ethics, like there's just.
True.
You can give that band money to another band like a State Champs or something like you're saying, where it's like, oh, they're going to actually really appreciate you and they're going to do a cool thing here. They're not going to like try to lure you onto the bus and get you stoned with the gas mask,
Yeah, and I have to apologize to poor Kanan. Like when we were talking in the group chat, when I was like, they took you in the green room? That's a little sus. Like, I don't know. And I'm now hearing this like, wow. I'm like, wow, what an asshole. That's really amazing. No. And that's really phenomenal. So like, I was like, no disrespect, State Champs. Sorry about that. I immediately was like, You're hanging out in the
I
green
sent
room.
them a screenshot from that DM. So yeah,
Ugh.
yeah.
I've
You
been
have to
trying to get
apologize
them on my
directly to
pod
the
for like
yeah.
what 2 years. So we'll see. We'll
I'm
see.
hoping. That'd be awesome.
Fuck. Well, I don't know how normally Amanda like tells me when to end this, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do to end it. Do you have any guys have any last thoughts you want to say on fandom, the state it's in today? Anything like that?
The only thing is, you know, obviously we talked about bad things and good things. At the end of the day, it's amazing to be a fan and it's a great experience, but just respect the artists that you listen to and you love so much. Whether you're going to go see them, you're on the internet, um, be respectful and be respectful of your peers, whether it's their first show or 100th show. Like, you, just because you saw a band 100 times doesn't mean you're any more of a fan than the person next to you that's their first show.
Yeah, just be cool to one another. Like, just be respectful to the people that are like Lisa said, people that are with you, to the band. You know, because you want to keep this going. You want to have, you want the band to have longevity. You don't want them to abruptly have to end being a band or meet and greets. You just want just be cool.
Yeah.
Just be normal. Take a step
Yeah.
outside every now and then, look at your surroundings and realize nothing that you're worked up about online really matters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well-
Oh, yeah. And that the majority of those people, keyboard warriors, I've learned are bots. So don't argue with
Yeah.
people all the time.
No.
Don't do that. Get outside.
Don't let the Chinese and the Russian governments manipulate us any more than they have.
Yeah.
Please allow yourself to not get defeated by robots. We here at Emo Kids Anonymous, I can say this as the official only host of the day, we are very anti-robots, anti-AI, anti-clanker, wireback. Fucking any of those new terms that we're calling robots that will get me in trouble in 20 years when the robots develop equal rights to us. I will be here for you, robots. I will still be running my mouth about you. I don't fuck with technology. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me here today. Lisa, Kanan, it was a blast to have you here. I'm sorry Amanda could not be here. She's here in spirit, though. I'm sure you could feel her essence upon you, singing fucking Fall Out Boy in your ear.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I could feel her here, and I was like, "Oh, don't mess this up. Oh,
Yeah.
don't talk too bad about Fall Out Boy. Don't."
So I guess in closing, I could say, thanks for the memories, even if they weren't so great.
Love it.
Thanks.
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 Hey man, it's your boy Petty Hendrix, man. You tuned in to Emo Kids Anonymous. Check it out, you did.